Have you ever met a girl that you tried to date, but a year to make love she wanted you to wait? Let me tell you a story of my situation. I was talking to this girl from the U.S. nation. The way that I met her was on tour at a concert.
Erik Lundy, I'm a senior city planner with City of Des Moines.
Stage dripping, pouring with sweat. I was walking through the crowd, and guess who I met?
In January, it will be 23 years that I've worked for the City of Des Moines.
100 proof. I asked her name, she said blah, blah, blah. She had 9...
Probably when I was very small. I used to get out the World Book Encyclopedia and look at the populations of the biggest cities in the world, and so I had kind of this interest in large cities and growth of cities, and so in maps, I really liked maps.
That's what I'm going to sing.
Well, I'm not sure there's really a typical day, but kind of the job is very cyclical. So we're constantly working on agendas for the Plan and Zoning Commission, which meet twice a month, and then a Zoning Board of Adjustment, which meets once a month, and a Historic District Commission, which meets once a month. Today I'm working on getting the staff reports and recommendations in a packet in the mail for the planning commissioners for the hearings that will occur next Thursday. So pretty much every end of the week we're trying to get something out the door for a public hearing meeting the next week. Throughout the week we meet with the developers on proposals for development or changes to zoning or appeals to zoning, or separate property owners or citizens.
Or some understanding how it's gonna be in the future.
Planning matters because it influences everything that happens in Des Moines in terms of development, how things are built. Very much on the built environment, but also on policies for involving citizens in all of the city's decision making. So trying to get the right people to the table, disadvantaged groups, trying to ensure resources are directed to the right provision of city services. So it's a pretty wide range. Just the implementation of kind of our comprehensive plan is an ongoing. Every budget item is supposed to be tied to something in our comprehensive plan. Numerous. Probably the biggest challenges are the development community. You know, their incentive is to make money, so they're always trying to reduce their costs, which usually means they're not wanting to meet certain standards that we require. So there's a lot of pressure from that side. They also put pressure on the political decision makers. In terms of Des Moines as a whole, challenge-wise, I think probably one of our biggest challenges is our immigrant populations that we're having, and how to assimilate them into understanding our requirements for development in Des Moines, and getting, some of that's it's a two-way street too. We have to also recognize what are their needs, what are their cultural needs, and is there ways we can develop our requirements that will accommodate their needs and still achieve what we're trying to do overall as a city. So I think that's a huge challenge I think we face right now. Good question. I'd say it's gratifying to see things getting implemented as you intended them in the plans that you put together, many, many years ago. So after having a career, right now my career's been about close to 27 years overall, and so just starting to see the fruits of your efforts, because planning is a long range process, so you don't really see the outcomes immediately. Some of the things you do, and so but in terms of if you're looking back at your career, I would say were you able to put the influence where you wanted to were you able to affect change in the way people do things like development or how neighborhoods work?
Who is that? Oh, he's just a friend.